questions. I don't want you to lose sight of what's important to you in the course of listening to our wonderful panel. So let's start with the question, how can clients give constructive input into compensation practices? Is there a role for our clients? And anybody want to take a stab at that? We won't go in any particular order.
Yeah, I am a firm believer that one of the reasons that we have this problem and the reason that the compensation systems of today are not as good as they could be is that there is not enough client input. That's just a fact. If clients were talking about who made them happy, who instilled confidence, who helped them with their businesses, who won their cases, if they were given more opportunity to have input, I'm sure that they would put high on their list the women who worked on their teams, on their litigation teams. So I think that clients absolutely have a huge role to play, and frankly, compensation systems will listen to clients. I mean, they have a lot of credibility. They're the end users.
So a survey or just kind of an exit interview, what's the best way to get that information from the client? Just anecdotal?
Anecdotal. I mean, I will call when I used to get presentations ready for other partners in my group or for associates at the different levels. I would, and I knew that their clients, we had mutual clients, I would call some of the clients and just get some feedback, just some quotes. What did you think? And then I would present those to the committee. So that's all I've been able to do. Has anyone discovered a firm that does that more formally? I mean,
mine does. I work at a 500 lawyer firm based out of the Midwest, and they've done, thank you, a couple
Your name, please.
I'm Allison Rhodes still. So they, this past year, hired Huron Consulting, which does a lot of law firm consultation, and they did client surveys, and it was fascinating. And the things that were interesting to me were a couple. One, it was which relationship lawyers were willing to ask their clients to be surveyed, and that was the most telling part of the process, frankly. And then when those client surveys came back, the data was so valuable and not what people expected, and the clients appreciated the process. And there was not any. It's a very awkward thing to ask a client to do. But, it's what Huron does. They do law firm consulting. They're like, no, it's okay. Your clients are not going to run away. It doesn't look like a cheesy customer service survey at the end of a meal at the Olive Garden. I mean, they do a very commendable job of it. And it was really useful. So I actually think it's a great idea, particularly at a firm like Rob's size or other larger firms that have institutional clients, to include in your compensation system a form of surveys. Some of the stuff that we heard was incredible regional variation in reliability and consistency, which nobody was expecting, because in a firm that size, people tend to get a little myopic with their regions, and they don't really think, oh, we're great, without realizing that there's a significant problem in Florida, for example. So it was very insightful. The other thing that we did in my practice group, I represent lawyers, so it's all I do is represent other lawyers, and so it's an interesting field to develop. And we brought in the rest of the lawyers in our practice group nationally, so we had about 10 lawyers here in Portland, and we brought in 3 of our clients in Portland. And so they were